Hey everybody, it's me, Zach. This is Potato, and welcome back to our channel. Of course, I get started and he immediately leaves, but you still got the purple Twitch hoodie back there to enjoy. So, lap it up, enjoy, enjoy, soak it up, divas. Anyways, he's getting also comfy in his dog bed behind me, so you might hear that as we get started. But what we're here to do today is talk a little bit about Graveyard Girl. Now, this might be a little bit new for some of you. I have covered her previously on my channel. In fact, about this time last year, maybe a little less than a year ago, I was very interested in overconsumption as a concept. I've watched Graveyard Girl, or as we might refer to her on and off during this as Bunny, that's her name. I've watched Bunny for many years. And as I was thinking about overconsumption and I was watching these people do these Temu hauls and Dollar Tree hauls and just buy, which mind you, I still watch a lot of content like that because I do find it very fascinating. And on top of it, like, I have become very interested in some of these people's lives outside of just the things that they're hauling. But that's besides the point. As I was watching these people participate in overconsumption and, you know, just like this extreme capitalism, I realized that, like, one thing that has been haunting, I think, Bunny's channel for a really long time has been overconsumption on her channel. Her entire channel has always been, to some extent, about buying stuff and showcasing it and justifying her purchases in order to make content. And I did a really long, in-depth video about this. I forget exactly what I called it, but it's something along the lines of like how overconsumption ruined Graveyard Girl's channel. And it unexpectedly really blew up on my channel. I got a lot of new viewers, a lot of people who are really interested in it. And I did do one follow-up where I reacted to a video of her unboxing like a junk drawer or something that she bought from Japan. And the reality is I haven't done much more outside of that because that remains what Bunny's content has been. She hasn't, and maybe she doesn't want to move away from that. I don't know. Well, we'll get into that today because she has posted a new video that's made me want to jump back in and give my thoughts. But she's really just continued to buy. If you don't know, she has a second channel called Banana Peppers. And every video on Banana Peppers is about like mystery boxes, a lot of mini brands, a lot of buying random trinkets. Like, the theme of that channel is seemingly just trinkets, and that remains the case, although it does look like in recent history, as I'm looking at it right now in front of me, that she's slowed down in posting over there. And I think some of that has to do with her breaking her foot in real life. That is also something she talks about on her main channel. And speaking of her main channel, the video we're going to watch today is called Can I Go From Overconsumption to Zero Buy? She's literally clickbaiting the concept of overconsumption. Something that not just me, by the way, lots of people have been critical about when it comes to her and her channel. I am curious if she's actually serious about this, because if you look at her main channel, Graveyard Girl, also a good chunk of her videos are still about her buying stuff. Sometimes it's like thrifted stuff, which is fine. Sometimes it is makeup, sometimes it's this, that, the other. The thing is when it comes to overconsumption, I'm not saying folks are allowed to buy things, have things that they like and enjoy. Yes, I do have Furbies on shelves behind me. I do collect them to some extent. That's nothing compared, by the way, to the level of like trinkets and nonsense that Bunny has. But that's besides the point. I do digress. I have a video on my channel where you can go learn about my Furby collection. Anyways, I'm not saying you're allowed to buy, but like, it's clear that this is the only kind of content she has now, is to just buy all of this stuff that she may or may not use at certain points And she's also really tried to, in the past, clickbait some of that and say she was getting rid of stuff or cleaning out stuff, cleaning out her closets, her junk drawers, etc. And then she doesn't ever really show what happens with this. So it's really just an excuse for her to show all of her trinkets and things that she has. And so I just find all of that interesting. I'm going to stop talking because I think I've made my point, but I'm very curious now to find out what this looks like. As a disclaimer, she does spend the first like 4.5 minutes of this video talking about her broken foot, and she did leave a timestamp like almost immediately. She posted a timestamp of where you could go to skip the broken foot conversation. I'm skipping it because I'm not really interested in that particular update. I'm sure she actually provided that for maybe people who might be squeamish. What I'm really interested in, though, is, again, the concept of going from overconsumption to zero buy. I'm curious about what the parameters of that look like for her. I'm curious, like, what no buy, zero buy means for her. So I'm gonna shut the fuck up and let's get to, shall we?
I think I'm gonna do an exciting project for April, you guys.
Okay.
I think for the first time in my literal life, I am thinking about doing a no buy.
Wait, first of all, what did that say? There are 3 different titles for today's video. Which title did you get? Oh, that is a thing you can do. That is a thing you can do in YouTube Studio, is set up different titles and it will do like testing and give you analytics for which title is like the most clickable. So I guess potentially there are other titles for this as well. But okay, she's going no buy for April.
For April, which actually is the whole reason I'm wearing this like crazy like jacket today. I was telling you guys
Wait, what does that jacket have to do with not buying stuff in April?
It was January, maybe February, that I really want to do a complete style revamp. I want to like revisit my wardrobe. I need to let go of a lot of stuff that just I don't feel like drawn to anymore. Like, I feel like I have a lot of stuff in my closet that like, I love it. I love how it looks. I love everything about it, but I never grab it, out of my closet. And I feel like I always want to like hang on to stuff like that. But I really have been exercising the art of letting it go. I think I want to do a no buy in April for a few reasons.
Okay, alright, okay. No, I think that's great. She does have a lot of clothing. In fact, actually, I think one of the things that people really like about her in the past has been some of her, like, try-on hauls, her just in general, she would do outfits of the day and things like that because she does have a unique sense of style, and I think there is a market for that. So it could be potentially some cool content for her to go through and style herself using things she already has, because I'm sure her closets are full. I don't know if we've ever seen like the inside of her closets or not, because I haven't watched a ton of her fashion related content, but it would be interesting. But does that mean, what about the rest of your content? Like, are you going to be unboxing stuff? I bet she probably has just like packages of unboxings that she still has to do. But I do think that would be a weird look for her to go on and do all of that stuff in April if she's supposed to be like doing a month of no buying anything.
Number one is, I feel like if I focus more, instead of like acquiring new things that like grab my attention, whether it be, like, I'm usually not like a sucker for like trends per se, but I feel like a lot of times if I see a product, like I want to try it, like if it's a makeup product or if it's like a crafty thing, like I feel like I want to like...
She says she's not a sucker for trends. And I think I understand what she means by that, because sometimes she'll be like, oh, I saw this a long time ago and I'm just now getting on trend with it or whatever. But she does keep up with them. And I do think I have heard her in the past use use those things to justify making purchases. It's almost also like sometimes, especially for the makeup related, like, does this thing really work these days? Like, a lot of it is related to, like, oh, this is a trendy thing that's going viral, and she's trying it out to let you know. So I don't know if I 100% believe that.
Do my own version of it, but then I feel like I've become more addicted to, like, acquiring. I am spending more time, like, being inspired, I guess, by...
No, that was like a moment of self-awareness. She's addicted to acquiring things. She likes to purchase things.
Things that I see, like whether it's crafty products or not even, that'll make sense later. But, you know, I feel like I've gotten lost in, like, acquiring versus ever versus ever realizing the reason that I bought the item to begin with, if that makes any sense. I want to kind of become more creative and resourceful and focus more on, like, the DIY aspect of things. I feel like that unlocked, like, more creativity within me versus, like, once again, I really don't feel like I'm a trend chaser or anything, but I feel like when I would, like, go to the thrift and then change.
Maybe she specifically also means, like, trends in terms of, like, wardrobe and style that way, because I do think, like, obviously just looking at her, like, I don't think, and this is no shade, because I really do appreciate her unique fashion sense, right? Like, I think that really speaks to who she is as a person, but, like, maybe she only means trends with, like, specifically fashion, because I'm also thinking about on Banana Peppers, she's, like, buying all of these, like, very popular, like, mystery unboxing things. She was on the Labubu kick, the Labubu trend. In fact, I just am looking right now, I'm scrolling through her Banana Peppers channel, and there's a thumbnail that literally said, "Is Labubu summer over?" And then she has so many Labubu related videos over there. So it's just like, what do you, I don't know. I guess like she's maybe not into fashion trends, but I do think she buys things because they're popular. Although she's kind of always done Sunny Angel unboxings, and those just recently, like, I feel like got really trendy, and I think she was doing those before they were super trendy. But it's just one of those things where it's like, I don't know that you're not just always chasing some trends in terms of, like, making content.
Like, aspects of that article of clothing and make it, like, more my own. I feel like hopefully this whole conversation is becoming circular and making sense. Like, I feel like that's how I discovered more of my own unique style I was, like, thrifting things and altering them and making them my own. And they were more, like, unique. Like, I feel like I had more of a connection with each piece.
That is also true. She used to do so many thrift hauls on her channel. I remember watching some of those back in the day. And I do think, you know, that's a different type of, like, consuming. Like, you're potentially at that point saving those items from, like, landfills. You're reusing them in some kind of way. Like, I don't take as much issue with that as a concept. And I do remember a lot of her style used to be based around, like, personalizing things that she found at thrift stores.
Versus, like, seeing something styled on someone else and really, like, loving how they're wearing something. Right. But, like, it doesn't necessarily translate into my world. Anyway, you guys. So I'm kind of, like, using the last few days of March to kind of, like, sketch out and see, like, what on earth would a month of no-buy look like for me? I feel like it would actually really help me to kind of, like, really focus more time and energy instead of, like, acquiring new items to really, like, tackle and go through. Like, you guys, we recently I went through everything and tried to find every pair of sunglasses that I own, and I feel like I want to make a video like showing you guys like a sunglass collection, and then I feel like it's time for me to part with a lot of like the sunglasses that I have. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's the other thing is like collections come up a lot when people are talking about overconsumption as a concept. And when it comes to Bunny, it's not just one thing that she's collecting. Like you can look just at the background of what's going on, right? Like she's always had this fascination with like antique baby dolls, things like that, body doll parts, etc. You can see all of that behind her. And that's just one of her collections. She's over here saying, like, I would love to show you all my sunglasses collection. And then if you even just think about the things that she's hauling over on her Banana Peppers channel, it's like Sunny Angels, Labubu's, Reborn dolls. It's just like, I got the collection of Furbies. You know, and that I'm just using me by way of example. But I'm like, I'm sure there's many people who have like a collection of things that mean like something like one collection, maybe two. And Bunny just has like a shit ton. The fact that she has to like go searching her house for all of the sunglasses she has. I have like 3 pairs of sunglasses total. Total, you know?
Like, and I'm not at the point where I'm like, oh, I never need to buy another pair of sunglasses again, although that very well may be true. But it's like, I want to find new things that I'm crazy about. Like, I'm in this dichotomy right now where it's like, I don't really want to just feel like I'm living in the past. Like, I want to still have, like, discovery of new things that I will love just as much, if not more, than...
I think you just want to buy stuff, Diva.
Old things? Is this some kind of age-related crisis? Like, I feel like, will I ever find a pair of sunglasses that I love as much as these red Miu Miu sunglasses? I don't know. I love them. I still own them.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I feel like I need to have less items, but focus on just more things that truly I love so that I can kind of like rediscover like a new direction for my wardrobe. Once again, I can...
It's kind of giving, let me get rid of some things so I can bring more things in. Is really what it's giving. It's giving, I want to find more pairs of sunglasses that make me feel as excited as this red pair of Miu Miu sunglasses does. And so I'm going to get rid of some sunglasses so I can justify bringing more sunglasses in, which I don't really feel like is actually addressing the issue. And that doesn't sound like she's taking the time to really say, like, I want to enjoy the things that I already have. I want to appreciate the things I already have and find ways to style them in ways that make me feel good about them.
Can find a passion for fashion, but like with things I really love. I don't know, you guys. Anyway, that brings me to, once again, this article of clothing that I am wearing today, which is this super cool, funky, I love sets and separates, which I think that love comes from Betsy Johnson, which I feel like will always be somewhat my favorite brand to wear.
Yeah.
But mostly like the old archive vintage Betsy Johnson. I feel like that's a very like 80s and 90s thing. Somewhat even like before my time, honestly.
It is really interesting. I do feel like she knows a shit ton about like the history of fashion, which is really, really interesting to me as a concept. And she really does give me Betsy Johnson energy. Even her hair right now is kind of reminding me of the actual woman, Betsy Johnson, of her hair.
My time, at least,
No
that
shade.
I was buying, like, adult clothing. That sounds very weird to say. You know what I mean. But, like, where there would be tops, bottoms, jackets, like, different styles of tops, skirts, leggings, capris, you know, and they would all be in the same prints, but they would be, like, slightly different styles so that you could kind of customize, like, whatever look you wanted. Like, I feel like that's why, like, time and time again, I absolutely love vintage Betsy Johnson. Okay. I found this, and I really think it was homemade. There's no labels in it, and honestly, I do not really know if this is genuinely suede. Like, it has no lining.
Again, I really appreciate her being willing to take fashion risks. I think that that's so cool in a time where, like, you know, people really do follow a lot of trends. I have to believe that's what she means when she says she doesn't follow a lot of trends. She has to just mean specifically for fashion. But this is very interesting because this whole little two-piece set is giving old maiden type of clothes.
It feels like a suede. I do not know if it's a suede or a faux suede. It's kind of this, like, plum color. The lighting is really funky in here. Yeah, do you guys see that, like, weird, like, ripple thing it does? So I bought this set at the thrift forever ago. And I love this kind of, like, peplum, like, funky sleeve thing. But this is the skirt that it came with, you guys. Never in my life would I wear a skirt this long. Except for when they, like, forced me to for, like, school dress code type stuff. But, like, never would I wear a skirt this long. And everywhere I have been seeing these bloomer style pants.
Those are very Graveyard Girl coded. Those are so Graveyard Girl coded.
Which there's not enough fabric to do that with here. But also
I will say, I think one of the things, because her sense of fashion is so unique, it's the kind of, like, wardrobe that really does depend on having, like, so many unique pieces, as opposed to a wardrobe that has a lot of, like, staples that you can repeat, that, or, like, even neutrals or basics that go with a lot of different things. I'm no fashion expert, but I do watch a lot of fashion shows and fashion related stuff. I am very interested in it as a concept, and so because she buys so many unique pieces, it's not like you can just go wear this jacket with just any outfit, right? So it does make sense that she probably has just, like, a shit ton of clothing.
Also, bloomer style shorts. So I have a pattern coming in that I'm hoping I'm gonna be able to take all of this apart, and I'm hoping I'm gonna be able to modify and make my own separates. I feel like I'm gonna allow myself to still buy, like, patterns, because you guys, honestly...
Now, Diva, how is that no buy? I mean, I appreciate that her goal seems to be, like, I want to be creative and reuse what I already have. But, girl, I feel like you're just using the words overconsumption and zero buy to try to get people to tune into this video. Because I think Bunny is probably very aware of how turned off people are by just, like, all of her videos being about stuff she buys.
I feel like that's what I'm getting the most inspired by lately, is almost that sort of, like, semi-historical vibe, which I love this creator. I'm gonna try and, like, insert her Instagram page, because that's the only place I've seen her is on Instagram. But I'm trying to think, like, could I go more that direction with my style? Like, a little bit corsety, a little bit... still having, like, you know, corset plus Doc Martens. And I feel like this is going to be really interesting as well, that it's going to encourage me to, like, deep dive in my wardrobe and actually see what can I rustle up for spring. You know, I feel like I even used to say this a million years ago. I feel like having any kind of alternative style flair, it is difficult to do that when it's so hot outside. I love, like, jackets and sweaters, layering. I love wearing, like, tights and stuff, and just a lot of the prints that I love. I feel like plaid for summer, probably not. You know, I still would, but, like, do you know what I mean?
She's starting to lose me a little bit. Because it seems less like, you know, she said earlier that she was using the end of March to flesh out, like, what no buying in April might look like for her. And she's losing me because it started off of her talking about, like, a plan for that skirt specifically, and now she's just talking about fashion in general. And that seems to be really, from my experience of, like, for example, when she did a, like, clean out my drawers with me video. She's done, like, a few different videos like that. And she always just ends up, like, talking about the things that she's pulling out and, like, what she likes about them, and never really says, like, oh, I'm not actually getting rid of this, or I am getting rid of this, or whatever her plans might be. And it feels like we're quickly devolving into talking about stuff that's tangentially related to not buying stuff, but really just her talking about, like, not actually having a plan for what not buying stuff looks like. And let's just be clear, especially when it comes to clothes, she probably really doesn't need to buy anything. I'm sure if we saw inside her closet right now, there's probably enough outfits in there for her to repeat, or for her to never have to repeat an outfit throughout the month of April, you know?
Always wish that I could somehow figure out how to translate my style into, like, outfits that make more sense for, like, spring and summer. I feel like I used to just, like, in the summer wear all black, but, like, sheer all black, you know? I need to focus on going through everything that I already have and kind of just, like, making sense of it all to make way for new things in my wardrobe that then won't just get lost amongst the old things. It's time to start using some of the stuff that I have, right? Like, I don't know. It's gonna
again, like, every time she qualifies it with, so I can get new things, I'm like, girl, then we're not really trying to make change here. It seems like really what's happening is that maybe your closet's at capacity, and so in order for you to get new things, you gotta move some old things out.
Be interesting to see how this goes. I know I will deviate in a few areas because, like, April's my dad's birthday, so I'm sure, like, obviously I'm gonna, like, give my dad a birthday present, you know, stuff like that. And I would never do it so strict as, like, if I run out of, like, toothpaste or something, you know, I'm just gonna try and not buy, like, another new perfume that catches my eye this month. I'm gonna spray the old perfumes that I've just recently acquired. Also, I've come to this realization a little bit from broken bone syndrome. I've told you guys I've been trying to be on, like, the internet overall less, except for I did rekindle my romance with Tumblr. And I'm trying to, like, follow a lot of new blogs there because I literally used to talk about this all the time, you guys. Tumblr used to be, like, a foundational point of creativity for me. I feel like I hear how millennial that sounds, but I feel like, in a weird way, I used to get inspired by just lots of pictures that looked like this. You know, it didn't really have anything to do with fashion, but I feel like overall, it just, like, sometimes the color palette or the mood or the tone or something would give me more, like, creative juices to
listen, let me not judge whatever your creative process is, Diva. Let me not judge. I think now I'm just like, okay, we're really straying from the path here. And also, like, one of my other thoughts is like, it doesn't seem like she actually does have specific boundaries or rules or expectations for what this no-buy looks like. Like, I think it's more than reasonable to say, I will replace toiletries if I run out of them. and I will buy my dad a birthday present. Although, that is something you could plan for in advance, too, really. You know, if you really are truly wanting to be strict about those things, go look and see what your inventory of toothpaste is now in March, and make sure you have a backup if you're going to run out. Figure out what you want to get for your dad now, and then don't spend any money in April. You know, but listen, it seems like she's really just like trying. It doesn't seem like there's too many strict boundaries here.
So I feel like this is like more of a desire to like stop like what I call treasure hunting behavior, you guys, because y'all know like really most of the time, unless it's like makeup or beauty or something like that, when I see someone wearing something, I'm constantly trying to find like a secondhand version of that or like a vintage kind of dupe, or I just feel like really lately I've been going.
But she's not really big on trends. Which like I think what she means is like trends that are popular with everybody, with like the larger like fashion market. But that doesn't mean that she's not trying to look a certain kind of like trendy way, you know? Like she's identifying people. This is why I think I question this like, oh, I'm not a trendy person, because I've heard her say things like that in the past, like, oh, I saw this person wearing this thing and I've just had to find my own version of it. So I think that's interesting, because I think those are things that like do drive some of that overconsumption for her.
Down like the vintage Coach pipeline. So then I'm like, I'm gonna go find that piece, you know? And I feel like literally I'm just whittling away hours of my life looking for like the spruce green 1995 Coach bag. And I'm like, I should stop being so obsessed. Like, I should like put that time and effort just right now. Like, I feel like I've kind of like gone too far down the rabbit hole where it becomes addicted, like where I become like addicted to like hunting for certain things. Like, and I'm like, I just need to stop. Like, not forever, but at least for a little while, you know? I feel like...
I don't know. I really feel like you might be good for a good chunk of time. I think you probably have what you need.
It's like just a rush that I get from like, because honestly, you guys, I poked my head into the first thrift store that I have since COVID, before I broke my foot. And I was like, oh, I'm just gonna poke my head in there. And honestly, you guys, I don't know if I'm just spoiled. I say this all the time. You guys know that I'm big into like shopping in Japan, secondhand. And I feel like that's the most comparable like thrifting experience that like I have had these days, just because I feel like the stores are so expensive now, you guys. At least by like my standards. I feel like maybe that's the wildest thing.
She says thrifting is so expensive, which I don't know. Actually, I just reacted to Life Plus Cindy on my Twitch channel, going and trying to find an interview outfit at the Goodwill, and she complained about the prices being really expensive. But it always is interesting to me when she talks about things like that being expensive, as if she doesn't have whole channels devoted to like buying things she doesn't need. And listen, I know that's subjective to everybody, and I'm not trying to pocket watch her or watch her purse or gatekeep what she does with her own money, but it is always interesting as a concept of like, well, what could you be? Like, if this is really important to you, if thrifting new clothes is important to you, then perhaps we spend less money on other things. I don't know. Anyways, it sounds like you just don't need to spend money on anything.
To say, but I used to find so many of my absolute favorite pieces, I'm not even exaggerating, for like a nickel, a quarter, like $1.50. Like, I feel like $5 at the thrift store was like an expensive item. Like, unless it was like, I don't know. I never really bought like name brand at the thrift store. I know maybe that sounds like wild, but literally thrifting for me was always about, most of the time, first and foremost, like the fibers, like the material that the garment is made out of. And then the next question was usually like, is it black? And then the next question was things based on like a particular silhouette that I was looking for, like a peplum jacket or a layered skirt or something like that, you know, a vest, like something like that. But I never was like, oh, is this, you know, DKNY or something? I don't know.
I feel like also the point is that, yeah, if it's too expensive and you have a full ass closet full of clothes that you could wear now, then let's focus on what we got at home, baby.
So yeah, it's kind of wild. Like, I'm thinking about attempting to go to Value Village, which I haven't been to since like 2019. Because I'm kind of wondering, like, is it everywhere? Is it everywhere that, like...
Also, I don't know if this is just like an out-of-touch, like, influencer thing, but, like, inflation, baby. It's like... so much has changed in the world since 2019. So if you're comparing prices, even of thrift stores, to where they were in 2019 before you stopped going to them because of COVID, then yeah, things are going to be different. I mean, COVID being one of those things, just by example, since we're already talking about it. But, like, so much has happened that's impacted the economy, impacted on how much stuff costs. Even if it is a thrift store, there's usually still, like, costs for that business associated with it. They have to pay people to work there, etc. So, yeah, I mean, it's just like anything else. Like, the price is gonna go up, diva. I don't know.
I feel like it's wild. Like, I feel like unless I was buying, like, a fancy winter coat at the thrift store, which they used to have lots of, like, half-off coupons or half-off days. But yeah, this was just wild. Like, I felt like I was, like, literally at the mall. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, okay, so also out of touch, because there ain't nothing you're gonna get in a regular store gonna be $5. Like, please be so serious.
Oh, there's also, like, that aspect where I guess I just really have to see, because you guys, a lot of times, like, if I even had a pattern or a garment that I wanted to make, I would go to the thrift store and I would buy, like, the materials, if you will, from thrifting. Like, if I wanted to sew with silk, or I wanted to sew with leather, or I wanted to sew with linen, or something like that. I used to, like, buy, like, a maxi linen skirt or something, and then take it apart and make, like, a linen vest out of it.
Well, just to be clear, people are still doing that, and I have actual example of that because I've been taking, well, I took a sewing class. I'm getting ready to take a second one. And quite literally, there were a few people in the class who went to the thrift store and just found, like, sheets or curtains or things like that so that they could use that fabric and material to make the things that we were making in our sewing class. So I don't know. I also do know that, like, Bunny hasn't gone out as much post-COVID. I think she has some stuff related to, like, health and things like that that, like, makes her very nervous. I think she's talked about being a germaphobe and stuff like that in the past. And so I get that maybe she hasn't been out in a while, but, like, these things are still doable. They might just not be exactly like they were in 2019 because it's 2026. Diva, it's like 7 years later or whatever.
So I don't even know if that is an option now, you guys, but y'all may see me, like, sewing stuff.
I would love that.
I don't know if that's something y'all would be interested in or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Let's see. There's definitely going to be... Oh, and that's the other thing, you guys, is I always fantasize about different products for Does This Thing Really Work? And I have like a closet of them.
Oh, I'm
now.
sure.
So I think it's finally time to, like, go through some of those items.
Oh, I'm sure.
And not acquire new items that I...
This is what I'm saying in like my previous videos about her, is that, like, she utilizes, like, her content and the things that she does in her channel and stuff like that to justify buying stuff that she might not otherwise need or want. And the idea that she just has a closet full of products that she bought for her Does This Thing Really Work series that she hasn't done anything with, that are just sitting there. The last time she did, according to the YouTubies, the last time that she did a Does This Thing Really Work, let me look. A month ago, she did a Does This Thing Really Work. So she has a whole closet of stuff sitting there, and instead has focused on, well, to be fair, in the past month she has broken her foot as well, which I'm sure did slow her down. But she's focused on just buying a bunch of stuff. I don't know, divas. I don't know.
See online, I get really excited and I want to test them, and then like I plan on making that content, and a lot of times like have you seen it yet? No, because it's like I'm spending too much time like researching, treasure hunting, and like desiring to do things more than I am doing the things.
It's not even the desire to do things, it's the desire to buy things.
So yeah, I don't know. I feel like this has all been a very interesting ball that started rolling in my mind in like January, where I'm like, hey, like I want to rediscover once again my brat's passion for fashion. I want to like update my style.
Let's go.
I want to like destash and declutter so that I'm more inspired and like less bogged down by things. So yeah. Many goals, you guys. And the camera's overheating because I've been rambling now for 30 minutes straight, which is so hilarious because I did have, what did I have today, you guys? A freaking haul. Yes, I did. Because I think I may open this with you guys again versus my second channel. I got another one of those like mystery junk drawers from Japan. I actually got this one at the same time.
I'm obsessed with the concept of her wrapping this video up because we are on minute 21 and this is only nearly 23 minutes, right? So she's wrapping it up, already talking about stuff she purchased that she has to haul for her channel.
I got the last one. It's like technically like a month and a half ago now. And I have not opened it yet. Why? Because I've been on bed rest for most of the time. Anyway, you guys, I literally forgot to freaking sippy. So sippy before I go. Also, don't forget to let me know what title you got for this video. As always lately, there are 3 titles for this video.
Yeah.
Let me know which one you got. Like I typed them all at the same time and then I said it, and like YouTube is like cycling through how they decide to show what title to who. Right. I don't know. Also, you guys, my loose goal for April is fitness. Like, I need to start, like, working out again. But will I be able to? You guys, will I be able to? Because I still cannot even walk down the street. I don't know. You know, I was thinking about literally, unironically, doing sit and be fit. Which, if you are as aged as me, maybe you remember. I feel like it came on, like, PBS or something. Sit and be fit. You sit and be fit, you know? I could go like that, you know? With, like, some 3-pound weights. My foot is levitating off the ground right now. If you're not already and you'd like to be, hit the button down below, subscribe, become a member of the Swamp Family, and give it out later tonight. I love you guys so much, and I'll be back again very soon.
Bye. Okay, interesting. She also does very much give energy that I think is probably a little bit similar to other people I cover on my channel, in the sense that, like, Homegirl loves a plan. Homegirl doesn't necessarily love enacting a plan, and I can say that as somebody who's watched her for quite some time. Also, I know other people in general are sometimes, like, annoyed by her personality and things like that. But I've mostly always enjoyed her personality, and I do just want to reiterate, if you found your way here because you are, a fan of bunnies, like, this is really truly on my end constructive criticism in terms of, like, I would love to see her be successful and not buying anything and be a little bit more creative with her content and things like that, because I do enjoy her personality, and I think she has, like, a creative eye when it comes to things like fashion, although I don't think she's done that on her channel in a really long time. So I think that could be a really cool way for her to engage on YouTube again. I'm just not entirely convinced it's going to happen based on that video alone. But I will tune in and see. It's probably going to be hard to tell if she's actually not buying stuff, because it sounds like she just has a shit ton of stuff already saved up that she's been meaning to make content with that she hasn't. So the reality is we probably will see more hauls, and we probably will see more, does this thing really work? Because apparently she just has that stuff sitting around. So who knows? I would love to see a buy nothing, a 0 buy month really lead to like some kind of renaissance for her channel. But I'm pressing X to doubt currently. I'm pressing X. Anyways, that's all I have time for today. You let me know your thoughts about Miss Bunny down below. If you're brand new to my channel, consider subscribing. Hit the bell button so you get notifications every single time I post a new video. Make sure to leave me a comment, hit like, click share, and follow me on all my social media. I had so much fun today. I hope you did too. And I'll see you all next time. Bye!